ahead. But so what? So what? Okay, you brought up the North Korea thing. What are your thoughts on that? Trump meeting with North Korea. It's a historic thing, but really nothing actually happened.
I mean,
they've made false promises.
Look,
before.
as much as I hate,
you know,
as much as I fucking can't stand Donald Trump because he's a freaking idiot. I hope something comes about this. Like it's not like I'm against peace and I don't want him to do a good job. Like, he's running the freaking country. The better job that he does, the better off everything is going to be, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that like I'm rooting against the president. I just think A, he doesn't fucking deserve to be there, and B, he's too stupid to be able to run the fucking country. So he comes up with all these distractions, and nothing of substance ever really gets done. And we're what, a year and a half into his presidency, basically.
Yeah. So,
like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, because it's so weird. Because, okay, so I follow, like, Bernie Sanders. I follow it all. I follow both sides for the most part. I try to. I'm more conservative, and I tend to lean more that way, but I listen to the Bernie stuff, too. And it's so crazy, like, the different messages, like, what each side is conveying. And what Trump doesn't talk about is healthcare. Like, is he still actively trying to, like, repeal Obamacare? Like, what's going on in the country as far as healthcare goes?
I think that has got put.
People really lose healthcare?
Yeah,
that's insane. Like, where is that news story? Like, why aren't there, like, fucking riots going on?
As Americans,
you know,
some Americans are gonna care, but until you start affecting people's everyday lives, like the majority of people's everyday lives, that's when you'll see like massive protests. But until we get to that point, it's not going to happen. You're just going to have like these small protests. I mean, like the Women's March and the Gun March, or what, March for Our Lives or whatever. Those were pretty big, to be honest. Those were pretty massive rallies. But, like, you know, the everyday stuff that goes on, the new scandal every fucking week or whatever, like, people will protest that, but you're not gonna get hundreds of thousands of people to be protesting that, because it's just, you know, it's not affecting their everyday lives. People got shit to do, you know, like, it's just never gonna happen until it drastically affects your ability to live your life.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way everybody's going to just pour out into the streets and demand change. That's the only way.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel at this point, like, the Democrats, they don't have much to talk about. Like, all they have to talk about is to dog on Trump.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that Bernie talks about all the time. He's like, you need to talk about policy and substance and, like, what we can do, and not, like, just, hey, look what he's doing. He's bad.
Yeah,
you know, pick me.
That's how he won in the first place.
You know, like, yeah, like, it just.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear more of from them. And I love Bernie Sanders. It's just so crazy how such an opposite perspective. But I always try to see both sides of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing that I love his idea of reducing the freaking defense budget and using that money and plugging it into some of these social programs.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I want to see happen, because I just think the Defense Department's budget is way too large. Way too large.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like neither side is willing to give an inch. Like, that's the thing with the gun control debate. Like,
that's what I'm saying. We need compromise. We need to just like. Yeah, and people just want to die on their hills, you know? Like,
yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested to see. I feel like his approval ratings have gone up, haven't they?
They have, but the thing that Trump is almost a blessing in disguise. Because I think it woke a lot of fucking people up.
Yeah, like,
to be like, this motherfucker became president. This motherfucker became president.
Right.
Like, the Apprentice guy. Apprentice guy.
Yeah, hopefully
became the fucking president. Are you kidding me right now? I think people are just like, I think people assumed that democracy just took care of itself, and they never had to participate to really, affect change. I felt like they said there's a certain amount of people that follow this stuff and they vote every time, and they generally do a good enough job, so I'm just gonna sit back on the sidelines and let it do. And then this shit happened, and now I think people are. I think people have turned a light on both parties though too. Like I don't think it's just shining a light on the Republicans and like their racism and bigotry and shit like that.
Absolutely.
The stuff that they've been preaching for the longest time, but it shined a light on the stupid ass identity politics that the left does, and how in this outrage culture that they have where they want everybody fired and for mistakes that people made, and like some mistakes are egregious enough that you should be fired and you should go away for a while, but I mean people got to make a living. People make mistakes. Like as long as they have a legit sincere apology, and as long as they're not like a repeat offenders and shit like that, it's fine. It's just and that's the thing. I think this whole thing has brought to light that both of them have things both sides have things that they need to work on, and that hopefully both sides can work on that, try to fix their mistakes, and then try to compromise. But right now, you can't compromise on the two polarizations because they haven't figured out their own shit yet. Because the Democratic Party is basically split down the middle between the Bernie side and the old Hillary side that's still hanging around.
Yeah.
And then the Republican side, you have conservatives like, what the fuck happened to my party? And all the other conservatives are like, Trump, 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 because if I go against Trump, that's going to hurt my view in my own base. They're gonna look freaking crazy, against me because I might go against Trump, because people are just blindly picking sides and they don't really look at but I think it's not blind, I think it's slowly changing. How much
of it is like propaganda almost, like I don't know, and I'm just a skeptical person, but I'm always just like, okay, like things seem to be getting good that can't be the truth. Just can't be. Right. Everything sucks. How are things getting good now? But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But
I think it's just a weird time, man. It is a weird fucking time that we live in. Like, I remember the days where you didn't really have to worry about any of this.
The division of people, though. Like, and I guess you just shouldn't read Facebook, but millions of people are on Facebook. And when you go through and read comments and the things people talk about and just the things people argue about and how differing the opinions are, it almost just feels like people, like each side is saying the complete opposite on purpose.
Let me ask
it's you like this. They're fucking dividing us on purpose.
Does it almost feel like that it makes you not feel human? Because that human is so different from you?
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
definitely. I feel like I don't belong. Like, how did I get to this world? Like,
you almost feel like, what happened in your life to where your brain thinks like this? That's what I think about all the time. I'm like, how do two humans which share 99% of our biology and DNA in our cells that we're made out of, right? How do we become so different from each other? Like, it's weird. It's so weird.
Very weird.
It's crazy.
How do we do that? I don't know. But it's just sucky.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe we focus too much on the negative. Like, I just think about work. I mean, you don't work with a ton of people, but like, do you have a good working relationship with people? Like, are people friendly?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the people I work with are friendly, like, and we're different. And we're almost like kind of like a family in a way, because we all go to that freaking office 40 hours a week. So